Hey guys, Nick here, Last Stop Reviews, coming at you today with an app review. Now the app I'm reviewing today is called Hexistentalism. It's developed by Aumsoft. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the company name. It's kind of a little different spelling, but it's a pretty good app. Now, it's $1.99, sorry, I apologize, it is $2.99 in the App Store, and it's kind of a puzzle logic game. It's very similar to a Mahjong, but more on a two-dimensional level. But I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. I really just want to get over to the close-up cam, kind of run you guys through what I thought of the program, and let you guys see it firsthand for yourself. So I'm going to go over to the close-up cam right about now. Okay guys, as I was saying, the game is called Hexistentalism. The little symbol's right here, and it's actually just one of the tiles. Opening up the game, it just gives you the developer name, which is Aumsoft. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but it does give you a really thorough tutorial. The option to resume a previous game, which, as you all know, I always love that option, and the new game. One thing that is kind of cool about new game is if you have a previous game running, it will still tell you that. But for the sake of going through the tutorial right now, I'm not going to do a new game. But it really does throw you right into the game, and I just got an email, sorry about that, where it gives you all the combinations. For this one, for instance, you see each one has one ring, one facing up, one facing down, then one kind of just circular. Pretty much they all have to go in a different direction. This is the same thing, except instead of all in the opposite direction, these all go in the same direction, but they're all different colors. Congratulations, blah blah blah. Okay, this one is just kind of a small run through of the things you've learned. It's all the same color, so on and so forth. And here's a new combination, which is actually one we've already done, which is different color and different facing direction. Just a quick run through of how to do this way. Sorry guys, I really don't want to spend a lot of time on the tutorial, but I really want to give you guys a good insight of how diverse this game can be and how kind of difficult it could be to get into just because of how many combination options there are. Now the point of the game, as you guys can hopefully see, is to clear the screen and to get as many hexes as you can. Now this is where they introduce a new one, where as you can see this one has 3, 2, and 1. All of them white, all of them facing the same direction, all of them same color. So overall guys, I really think one thing this game kind of overdoes is there's too many combinations. Because as you guys can see, I'm still going through this tutorial, I'm still learning new things, and there isn't levels to this, guys. It's once you do this tutorial, it's sink or swim. You get thrown into it. There's no help icons, there's no tips, there's no hints, anything like that that tells you if there's anything left on the screen, if there is any moves left to do. But overall, guys, I think levels is something that definitely needs to be introduced into this game, just because the fact that without kind of a learning curve to accumulate yourself to the game, it's very difficult to learn. I actually had quite a difficult time initially reviewing this, just because the fact that I couldn't get my head wrapped around it, and I really didn't want to give this a negative review for the simple fact that what just happened. Okay, the app just crashed. That happens. It's actually the first time that's happened, so I don't think that's a common thing. But guys, as you could have saw, I was going through the tutorial. I still wasn't done. They were introducing new combinations at every turn, and whenever you get into the real game, you don't have just 5 tiles like that. Let's get past this. Whenever you get into the game, as you see, it's a full screen. So it can be very overwhelming, and I think a few ways they could have alleviated the overwhelming feeling is just have a little bit more diverse tiles. As you can see, all the tiles are very similar, where it's 1 here, 2 there, 3 there. And just looking at it, it's kind of hard to differentiate the differences, especially on the darker colored ones. Another thing I think would have made this app a lot better is if they had levels, where maybe they don't introduce all the combinations at easy, introduce a few more at medium, a few more at hard. Or another way of doing it would be just start with a smaller board. Have maybe 9 tiles here in the middle. On medium, have half the screen full, and on hard, just do the entire screen. But I definitely think there should have been some sort of level system on this, just so the learning curve isn't as strict, because as I was saying, guys, this really is sink or swim. You get thrown into the game full bore, and you either really get it or you don't. And I had a really difficult time getting into this game at first. But just for on the contrast, some great things about this game is it is a very thought-provoking game, guys. If you're looking for a game that isn't stupefied down to the point where it takes you 4 seconds to get through a 10-level game, this is a great game for you. It's definitely one that you have to sit back, think about, strategize about. Another thing that I've said on countless reviews is you can resume previous games. That's a feature, as all you know, that I love and that I think every game developer should include. But as I was saying, just some things for improvements, guys. And I am reading off notes because I've been reviewing this one for over a week now, and I really wanted to give a nice, thorough review. But some things that needed improving are, it needs hints. I don't know if you guys play Free Cell, Spider Solitaire, anything like that, but as you know, in all those games where it's kind of more of a strategic, it has a little hint button that you can, will give you a little clue as to kind of get the ball rolling again. I definitely think with how difficult this app is to get into, it would definitely be improved by that feature. Another thing is, I think it should have number of tiles left remaining. Now, I say that with kind of a hint of caution because once you remove tiles, you have the option of putting in the next hex. The hex is just the tile itself. Now, for some reason, every time I get right around 2,500 points, I don't know if I run out of hexes, the game ends right around that point, but it just kind of stops. Now, I don't know why that is. I don't know really the cause for it at all, because the game doesn't really tell you. I definitely think that's something that the developer should work on. Throw in how to play, rules, just something other than the tutorial, just to kind of build it up a little more. But as I was saying, guys, there's too many combinations where, as you guys saw through the tutorial, it's massive, the amount of combinations you can make, and it's really easy to forget some, where you'll be missing hex combinations left and right just because of the fact that you can't remember them all just being thrown into the game. But guys, as of right now, I actually cannot say I think this is worth the $2.99 price point. There's just too many. Let me stop there. I don't think it's worth the $2.99 price point. There are just too many improvements that need to be made. Learning curve needs to be drastically decreased where it's more user friendly, more people can get into the game and learn it. I think hints should be put on here. I also think if it is a game of you only have so many hexes to go through, I think it should tell you how many hexes you have left. One thing I haven't touched on yet, and I apologize for, is you see up here it says inertia. What that is if you get multiple hexes in a row without adding the next hex, it will in fact build up where each combination is worth 2 times the points, worth 3 times the points. But that can be kind of difficult to get to. Okay, just a few more quick things here is level of difficulty. I touched on that. But that's really one of those things that I think the developer needs to go back, rethink it, because the developers here have a strong design for this game. But they just need to add, I've said it 5 times now, guys, so end of story. They just need to reduce the learning curve on this and make it more user-friendly. Guys, this is a great game. I cannot recommend it at $2.99. If they make the improvements, I will strongly recommend this. But right now, I can't say I recommend it. It's too hard to get into, too hard to learn. There's just too much thrown at you all at once. But guys, this is Nick, Last Stop Reviews, and I will catch you later.